Okay, so before I started recording, there was another bit that actually said, what time is it? So I did kind of miss that one before I started recording. But moving forward here, does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I adjusted all the game settings to exact your specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do. It's like a day job. And now, the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. Neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts the next time, but that's okay. Video games aren't meant to be. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I'll really learn about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon! Aww. We won't get to see Mr. Slider, Mr. Clock Text. We won't get to see him again. Well, I was wondering how, how many more of those we would encounter over time. But, how's it going, YouTube? Liam from Deluxe Australia here, and welcome back to Let's Play the Stanley Parable 2. Now, my main goal for this particular episode is to try and find that one figurine that we are missing, because we've got 5 so far. There is one more figurine. Now, the thing is that I have no idea where this last figurine could be. There is the hint in the room where the meeting room is, which I think is... I can't remember what it said, but I have a rough idea of where it could possibly be. I'm just not 100% certain if that's the right place or not. But let's go back into the game, and we'll see if we can try and find that last figurine.
Video. Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay, so we went through unplugging the telephone. So we're now going with the choice ending. Without the bucket, this time around.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
What is reality? Okay. So we are going back this way. Because I'd have 2 rough ideas of where we could possibly explore to finding that last figurine. But I want to tackle this one.
You'll take the door on the left.
Okay, so now I have...
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right side.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I...
I need you to walk through the door.
Alright, so,
Are you listening to me?
first idea.
Can
Okay,
you hear me?
fair to say, the figurine was not there. The Stanleys, that's right. That's what one of the names for it. So, that's one idea. Alright, now that that's passed, so don't have to worry about that now. The next one, of course, is going to be through the adventure line path. I want to see where that door leads, because I'm just trying to figure out where that door leads. Okay, so after going through the whole line bit of the section, I have a feeling the figurine is not going to be in the story path, but that's okay. We'll keep on the lookout for it, but what we're going to do is that we're going to follow the line path again, but this time we're going to see what happens when we have the bucket in our hands, because I'm kind of curious. But before we do that, actually, I want to see how this works. If I bring the bucket with
Stanley
me...
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Whee! Let's see what happens here.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley. What are you talking about? He screamed. You're a bucket! To this, the bucket furrowed its brow. No, said the bucket. Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No! Stanley screamed even louder this time. This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this? As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
I was not expecting that whatsoever. Oh, not
All
expecting
of his
that
co-workers were
whatsoever.
gone. What could it mean?
Is the bucket still there? The
Stanley
bucket's still
decided to
there.
go to the
Okay.
meeting room. Perhaps he... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Alright, let's see what we will get this time.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Alright, let's go on another adventure.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
There it is. Back at it again.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Oh, giving up the bucket, is it? I don't remember hearing that line in the original before. Oh.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Whoa.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Whoa.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I love this game so much. I love this game so much because of how
All of his
silly it
co-workers were
is.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so oh, I just love this game so much. Okay, so
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very
All right.
lucky indeed.
the next stop we're going to
Stanley
do with the
clutched the
bucket
bucket
is we're going to go
tightly to
to
his-
the
This was
ending
not
where
the
the
direct
colored
way to the
doors
meeting
are.
room.
Because I don't
Stanley
remember if
had
I've
felt the
explored that
bucket
one yet.
calling to him,
But we're gonna
telling
check
him
that out.
the employee
Oh,
lounge
actually, no,
was
before we
simply
do
the
that, there's
place
one
to
other
be.
ending I want to have a look at.
And here it was.
No, we're going down here. With the bucket. Whee! Alright. Check this over here. Hello? Oh, we got nothing. So far. Hello? Narrator? Ooh.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Well, that's an interesting ending, to say the least. Okay, so there's one bit I want to check out first before we attempt the ending I was going to go for. That was a pretty
When
unnerving
Stanley
ending.
came to a set of two open...
Let's open this up. Hello?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What happens if I stay in this broom closet on for a little bit?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
F.A.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
'Cause I can, and I'm looking for other interesting endings or interactions.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Wonder where those pipes lead.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I mean...
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and...
Ah, there you go. That's where that line came from. Okay.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I love the fact that you can't hear anything because I actually have my headphones on. That would have been funny if someone was playing this and they didn't, and they had like sounds coming from some form of speakers that would hooked up to the PC, but you couldn't hear anything.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Nope.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked? Unwrapped. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Yes, very calming, that's for sure.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Oh! Layout's different.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley
Okay.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct
So
way
we're just
to
gonna
manage it.
push through. There was nothing
Stanley had felt the bucket calling
interesting
to him,
in
telling him that
the
the
ending I was
employee
going
lounge
through.
was
I was just
simply
doing
the
that for an
place to
experiment,
be.
mainly
And
for the
here it
broom closet.
was.
But
Had the bucket turned out to be
so
correct?
let's now go
No,
to the ending with
never
the
mind.
colored doors
The bucket was
and see
wrong.
what kind of ending
Stanley
we'll
took
get
the
out of
door on
that.
his left to go back to the meeting.
Going on an adventure.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point."
Ah.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh. That's new. Well, obviously it's new content with a bucket, so... Whoa.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes?
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Bye, bucket.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Well played, narrator.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Bucket!
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I want to go back into
What
that
could it
ending and
mean?
see what happens if we get
Stanley
all of
decided
things
to go to
right.
the meeting room. Perhaps. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Alright, so it was wrong, wrong,
Item 2.
right.
Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D
so
printed recreation of a bucket,
Left,
not
right,
an
right,
actual bucket.
left. Remember that.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
Okay, and then is this where the tractor comes in? Yes.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Does this work?
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
And
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
what the hell?
I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Where the hell is that?
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
So it does the whole same thing, but it's just like get different responses for every correct, wrong or correct answer. Oh boy. All right. So I'm going to end the episode off here. I know this will probably be a lot short, but I have to cut a lot of footage out. But I'm nearly at the hour mark. So, oh man. Okay. So my objective of finding that figurine, I still need to find it. I don't know where to go from there. I have a feeling that it could possibly be at the museum bit, maybe? I'm not 100% certain. I don't want to try and look up any walkthroughs just yet, just in case I did get super stuck. But I know that there is one particular thing I have to do, which is going to the mind control facility area. There is, of course, the option of turning on the facility, which I can't remember what that actually does or where that leads to, but we'll have to find out sooner or later in the next episode. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then click the like button, click the subscribe button for more videos heading your way. Until then, this has been Let's Play the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I'm Lee from Leeds, Australia. Until next time, Liam out.